prop firm industry is a very, very shady industry. Remember, they come from a point where they're trying to deny out as many payouts as possible. They are completely unregulated, so they can do whatever they want with their capital. A lot of traders are taking these challenges and eventually they're not passing. So that is going to be the capital influx that they get. On the flip side, they've got the expenses, they've got the funded traders, the people that are making these payouts. So they're going to try and find any single excuse to not be able to pay you out. Now I know a lot of you guys have probably been in this position where you've been funded and for some reason they may have even banned you. So in this entire video, I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 major prop firms and really looking into their rules and seeing if there's anything hidden that may potentially catch you out. So by the end of this video, you're going to be completely confident so you can get funded and consistently get them payouts. And by the way, I'm going to be giving you guys a completely free PDF guide down below where I would majorly look at all of these 5 major prop firms and we really break down all of the rules so you can have it printed out and by your side whenever you're taking these challenges. So let's get straight into this. So getting into spot number 1, we have got FTMO. Now, many of you regard FTMO as the #1 most credible prop firm in the entire industry. And as you can see on screen as well, since 2015, they've actually been around. Now, even looking at some of their reviews as well, they've got over 20,000 5-star reviews on Trustpilot. So that just speaks to its own level. Obviously, looking into everything, I've got to say from what I've seen, FTMO has harder challenges and it has slightly more expensive challenges. So, for example, with a 100k challenge, it's going to set you back 540 euros. With some of the other prop firms, you could get a 100k account for around $500, which is even cheaper than this. So let's get straight into the rules as well now. And so getting into the rules of FTMO, very simple. Phase 1 is going to be 10% target, phase 2, 5%. So this is in general much more than some of the other prop firms and what they expect. The daily drawdown and overall drawdown is as expected. Now getting into some of the hidden rules as well. Let's look at this. They've got news. So if you're trading a swing trade account, you can actually open up during news and everything like that, to the best of my knowledge. However, if you have got a normal account, you can only open the position 2 minutes before and 2 minutes after as well. So keep that in mind. In terms of holding over the weekend, you can only do it if you've got an FTMO swing account. What else have they got over here? In terms of EAs, so this is a pretty big one. They're allowed, however, you've got to be careful. If somebody else is using the exact same EA as you, then obviously that may lead you to getting banned. Now, the main thing, trade copiers. With Traders Connect, as you guys know, you could actually be able to link up different prop firm accounts together. And FTMO, on a good side or on a good note, actually does allow that. It doesn't even have to be a master account. So it could be simply a slave account, which is great. In terms of consistency rule, they've got absolutely no restrictions. And copying between accounts, you can actually do the same trades on multiple accounts as well, which is great. So overall for FTMO, I would say pretty straightforward. They've got simple rules, and one of the main things is, yes, it costs a bit more and they're a bit harder to pass. But once you do pass them, I think you could be rest assured that everything is going to be going well. So #1 spot, we're going to leave that for FTMO. And again, these could change at any point as well. And so getting into spot number 2, we have got funded next, or more so known as FN. Now I've got to say, guys, as we go through this entire thing, I'm not specifically leaving them in an order that's relative to their position. It's more about just going through it. So with funded next, what have we actually got here? To be honest, a very, very clean website. And overall, 30,000 reviews, so even more than FTMO. The one thing I've seen as well is very unique. $125 million have been rewarded in total. Now, I've got to say that is a heck of a lot of money, and they really are paying out people. So never ever be scared that they're not really going to stick to that. In terms of guaranteed payouts, it seems they've got this offer. If they don't pay you out within 24 hours, they actually add an extra $1,000 on top, which is actually amazing. In terms of trading conditions, that seems pretty clear. Now, let's compare to FTMO. They have got a 2-step evaluation account, which costs you $549, so even cheaper than FTMO. They also have a 15% profit share from the challenge phase. So that's something even more unique to Funded Next. So you're actually looking to not just even make the refund, but you're looking to make $1,950 back from the actual challenge phase itself, which is amazing, to be honest. By the way, guys, if you actually use the code Diamant at checkout on any Funded Next challenge, you will actually get 120% reward on that. So be sure to use it, because I guess you could just make more money with it as well. Link is going to be down below. Click that first link and you'll get access to it. And now getting into the funded next rules over here. As you can see, obviously if you use for 120% reward, use the code Diamant. Link's going to be down below as well. Now, in terms of the challenges, they've got quite a few challenges out there. I would recommend the Stellar 2-step. That seems like the most simple. But as you can see, 8% target, 5% target in second stage. So a lot better than FTMO. Much, much better than FTMO in that sense. Max allocation is going to be 300k. In terms of news, again, open a position 2 minutes before or after, which is great. Over weekend, you can do it on the challenge, but not on a funded account. So keep that in mind as well. When it comes to your EAs, so EAs are allowed, but it has to be in the funded challenge stage, but also in the funded stage as well afterwards. So you can't just switch between EAs and manual trading as well. You have to stick to one or the other. Copy trading. So this is the one thing you've got to be aware of in funded next. You actually can't use things like trade copiers. So for example, Traders Connect and stuff like that. So when you do go for that funded next account, keep that in mind. You don't want to be losing your account simply because of that little rule over there. In terms of gambling rules as well, this is a unique one I saw. You cannot use more than 70% of your margin on one trade. So I guess it avoids you basically just hoping and praying that just one trade is going to make you pass. You have to make sure you do it slowly. And personally, I just believe it makes you a more disciplined trader. And apart from that, no consistency rule, which is great. Max lot size. Okay, so for funded next, I would pretty much say it seems a lot cheaper, a lot better in terms of the offers they've actually got. Remember to use the code Diamant down below as well. And in terms of actually money, you're probably going to be looking to make more money from funded next. They've even got 95% payout splits as well. So much better than FTMO. I would argue if you're really looking for value for money, funded next is much better than FTMO. Way better with the offers and the promotions that they have as well. Plus you've got the guarantee that they are one of the most reliable out there. So I've got nothing against funded next. Let's get straight into the next one. So now getting into funding pips, number 3 on the list. As you guys know, funding pips has been around for some time as well. And what have they got on their main website over here? Join over 750,000 traders in the world's leading firm. I find it funny because so many people or so many prop firms claim they are the best in the world, but I guess they will just do that anyways. And earn up to 100% rewards, which sounds pretty interesting. Now the 2-step normal funding pips account on a 100k is going to set you back $470. So actually a bit cheaper than all of the rest. So let's get straight into the rules as well. All right, so the one thing I've got to say about funding pips is exactly this. I recommend the 2-step normal funding pips account. That's the one that I'll be going for as well. They've got an 8% and a 5% target, which is great, just like funded next. But the one thing you've got to be very careful of is this little rule over here. And this is really what puts me off funding pips. I've got to be honest. It's the relative drawdown. Now, you know that the daily drawdown is 5%. However, if say for example, you're up, let's just say 6% and you come back down an extra 5% from that, your daily drawdown is going to be hit because it's relative. So keep that in the back of your head. That's something you have to be very careful of. Minimum trading days 3, max trade loss is 3% per trade. So you can't lose more than 3% on that trade. So risk management has to be key. A few other things as well. What have they actually got? So a few interesting rules. They've got max per strategy is 100k, which is not the best thing. EAs, not allowed. Group trading, not allowed. Copy trading between accounts, not allowed. Copy trading with other accounts, not allowed as well. So a lot of hidden rules over here from funding pips. I'm going to be honest, just looking at all of this stuff over here, it is really putting me off funding pips. The only thing that puts me towards it is that I know they're reliable. They've got good reviews and everything like that. I guess it's slightly just a bit harder to trade with. So when comparing it to FTMO and funded next, definitely a bit harder, but still one of the top platforms out there. Again, consistency rule. They've got no consistency rule for the 1, 2 or 3-step accounts. And then some of the other rules that are still yet to be found out. Their support team, I've got to say, is a bit slow. So yeah, we'll see about all of that. So funding pips, I would say it's actually decent. Apart from these little rules, still decent. And now getting into the 4th one, we actually have Alpha Capital Group. So I know a lot of you guys are very interested in this one as well. They've got over 300,000 traders. So funding pips is basically more than double as big as Alpha Capital. They've got 4.5-star reviews on their Trustpilot. I don't know how many traders exactly, but just looking at the challenge. So we're going to compare the two-step Alpha Pro. Let's go for 100K. How much is that going to set you back? $497. So I would say this is the average of all of the prices. Alpha Capital are about bang on in the middle. So let's get into the rules. So with Alpha Capital Group, what have we got over here? Phase 1 is going to be 10%, phase 2, 5, overall drawdown 10, daily drawdown 5. So this is definitely harder than Funding Next and Funding Pip. So just as hard as FTMO in my opinion so far. In terms of the refundable fee, you get nothing back compared to some of the others like FTMO or whatever. Max allocation, 300K for the same strategy, but overall it's 400K. This is one of the things that you really, really need to be careful of. This exact little thing. The max per strategy is 300K, so you don't want to get caught more than that. So in my opinion, if you're looking to get funded with Alpha Capital, I would say keep it max at 300K. Stop loss not needed, EAs. Yes, but they need to be approved. So remember, look down at the form that I've look down at the PDF that I've linked down below. You could actually get access to that. There's a support email on there as well. Copy trading in terms of Traders Connect. They say yes, but it must be a master account. So remember, you still need to update them with the email over here. Click the link down below. You'll get access to this entire thing. Gambling rule, they're quite lenient with all of it. This is the one. 2-minute trade rule. This is something that a lot of you are probably going to get caught out by. And hopefully, if you're still in this video, you're watching it and going to take advantage. 2-minute trade rule. Every trade must be opened for more than 2 minutes. So if you're ever entering, scalping in terms of micro scalping, looking at the 1 second, 15 second, or 1 minute or whatever, is probably not the best thing to do. You're going to have to stick to them higher time frames or keep it open for longer. Hedging allowed, just can't do it between different accounts. And yeah, consistency rule. So they're saying no if you want bi-weekly payouts, but there is a consistency rule if you want on-the-demand payout option. So it's going to depend. In my opinion, I think Alpha Capital Group is a bit better than Funding Pips in terms of the rules and stuff like that. However, in terms of the fee, in terms of passing it and all that kind of stuff, it is a bit harder as well. So it's kind of on that level with FTMO in terms of how difficult it is. But in terms of the offers and everything like that, definitely much less than Funding Pips or any of the others. So comparing the four so far, I would still say Alpha Capital is one of the top ones as well so far. So let's get into the final one as well. And finally getting into the fifth one, which is going to be CK Capital. Now I've got to say, I wanted to leave one final slot for a prop firm that is really up and coming. Compared to some of the others, obviously FTMO has been around for years, Funding Pips and all these others, they've been around for the longest while, but CK Capital, I've definitely seen some good things from them. Now allowing up to 1.1 million in funded accounts as well. Now, what is the main reason why I've added this one as well? For me, what brought me closer to it is the fact that they actually allow for trade copier. So speaking about, for example, where FTMO allows it, Alpha Capital Group, CK Capital is one of them ones that allows it as well. Now, getting into the actual challenges, they've got a range of challenges in all honesty, but let's just compare the normal ones over here. The two-step 100K is going to cost how much exactly? $369 over here, which is absolutely amazing. I've got to say, the reason I've added this one as well is because you guys, if you don't have the max amount of capital possible to invest into all these challenges, you could seriously take advantage of this 40% off discount. If you use the code D40 at checkout, the link is going to be down below as well or somewhere on the screen. You could actually get 40% off your first challenge, which is absolutely amazing and a lot cheaper for you guys. So if you really want to go, let's say for the 300K accounts, you're going to get basically $700, almost $600 off, which is absolutely crazy. So let's get into the rules now as well. Now, as I said, CK Capital, if you do want to get 40% off your first challenge, use the code D40 with the link in the description and you will be getting that off as well. Now, I've chosen to go with the two-step middle challenge because it seems to be the best in my opinion. Phase 1 is 8%, phase 2 5%, but their daily drawdown is amazing. They've got 12%, overall drawdown, which is crazy. Trailing daily drawdown is 6%. To be honest, no one should be going over 6% anyways. And minimum trading days is 1, which is great. Now, I've got to say one thing about CK Capital as well is they do have a consistency rule. So whether it's in the beginning stage, in the challenge, or also getting funded as well, there is going to be at least a 30% consistency on both the funded and the challenge as well. If you want to go for a standard account, that's only on the funded stage, not on the challenge phase. To be honest, I think this is quite a good one if you are trading like a mechanical 1 to 3 system or a mechanical 1 to 2 system, because either way you're not going to be looking to make 20k on one trade and then only 1k on every other trade. So if you can deal with the consistency, I think this is an amazing firm. Going down into some of their other rules as well, copy trading, as you can see, between different accounts, yes, you can actually do that. You just need permission. Another thing as well is you can actually use where is it over here? Yeah, you can actually use a trade copier as well, which is amazing. So if you guys really wanted to, you could link up FTMO, Alpha Capital Group. You could even link up CK Capital as well, all in one go, and everything would work quite efficiently. So that's definitely something that I'm going to be going for, and maybe something I recommend for you guys as well. In terms of the gambling rules, obviously, keep in mind they've got consistency where it pops up. Again, when you do fail account, so pretty simple in terms of the challenges. The only thing I think you've got to really be careful of is obviously that consistency rule. So overall with CK Capital, I've definitely got to say it's one of the best up and coming ones out there for sure. We're probably going to see in all the leaderboards and everything pretty soon. But yeah, overall a pretty good firm as well. And that's it. All the major 5 prop firms really reviewed and looked at in detail into the rules. So make sure to download the PDF down below. And remember, if you are taking a funded next challenge, to use the code Diamant at checkout and you'll get 120% reward, which is absolutely amazing. So guys, click on this video over here if you do actually want to see a strategy that can help you get funded. So yeah, click this one over here and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.